Welcome in three to Hardaway, aka the three-man gel and weave, aka the best big three since LeBron, D Wade, and Bias going up on a Tuesday. Live on YouTube and anywhere you listen to a podcast, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, anybody podcast. We are at 113 subscribers. Let's keep it pushing, ladies and gentlemen. We're trying to get to that 200. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. It's a very special episode today because it is the NBA Finals preview, and as you can see, if you are on YouTube, you see Coach Sheedy's shirt right here. He's supporting the Miami Vice, Miami Heat, not jersey, but shirt. So we're going to get into all of that. But first, if you don't know who I am the walking bucket providing instant offense. It's your boy Savage. Up here, the aforementioned coach on the sidelines, taking them school on and off the court. And when I say it's really shitty, it's really shitty. Shitty, what's good? NBA Finals again.
Yeah, and you know what? You said coaching, right? Coach on the sidelines.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you to all the other teams that don't want any of these great coaches from the Miami Heat. So y'all don't want Chris Quinn? Y'all want to go ahead and take Steve Nash, Toronto? Good luck. I'll leave it at that.
We also got your favorite DJ, the sample man himself, Mr. Ted Shakir Took. What's good?
Man, not a damn thing, man. Sheedy. All applause, man. All applause, man. I can't wait to talk about this damn series. But all praise go to you, Sharky, and all the Heat Nation, man. Y'all did it. Y'all beat the Leprechaun. Y'all beat that damn Leprechaun.
I don't think he showed up. Warwick Davis, y'all remember that?
Nah, he showed up. He ain't having enough power though.
We took all his shillings.
Speaking of Cap, we got Cap in here. Bam still trash his head.
Yeah, bomb out of yeah. Bomb out of
What up, Trevor? Shark said Fizdale flamed out, so we'll see about the other Miami assistants. Hey, we'll get into it, man. So like I mentioned in the pre-show, Shitty, I'm gonna let you just chronicle your emotions, your feelings throughout the process of the Heat going up 3-0 versus the Boston Celtics before, giving up the 3-0 lead, being tied 3-3 going into Boston for Game 7. And then, of course, first play of the game, Tatum hits that ankle in a weird spot. But, I mean, in my opinion, can't complain about it. Jimmy had an ankle before. They were without Tyler Hero, had injuries. All these things have happened. You still got to play basketball. You also have an additional All-NBA player in Jaylen Brown, who apparently can't dribble with his left hand. Sorry for him. But shit, I'm going to let you have the floor, man. So the floor is yours. You deserve this victory lap because you were saying this since day one of the postseason. You gave us literally the blueprint for y'all to get to the finals, and here y'all are. So, Sheedy, have at it, brother.
I appreciate it, man. I said we're going to go to church today, man. So we're going to go to church, and I hope everybody's ready. Get your Bibles out and everything like that. We'll stand when it's time. But anyways, man, we're going to start with praise and worship because, when you come to church, that's the first thing, right? It's praise and worship. So I want to praise and worship all those other teams, right? Let's start with the Bucks, right? They were supposed to go and win the championship. Knicks, not so much. The Celtics were supposed to win a championship too, right? But I want to give praise and worship. We praise the Lakers on this podcast. We said that the Suns may do well, what have you. But you know what? We said the Celtics may do it too. But the Celtics ain't getting the praise and worship right now. Had they won Game 7, it'd have been all spectacles, all came back, but that didn't happen. But enough of praise and worship. We're now going to move on to the next part about announcements. Announcements. When you go to church, you got the announcements. You got church right here. Hold on. Let me see what page I'm on for the announcements. Here, April 11th, right? April 11th, 2023 is when the Miami Heat lost to who? The Atlanta Hawks. Okay, I'm going to move on.
I see what you did there, praise and worship. I see what you did there. Okay.
You like that? I did like that, Cat. And then April 14th, we were told we were going to do good enough, right? We went ahead and beat the Bulls, right? And got the 8th seed. Now, went on ahead, and now, before June 1st hits, just another announcement, 28 teams are going somewhere. 2 teams are in Denver, and that's it. But that's it for that part, right? So after that, after announcements, let's go to the offering. We're going to go tie an offering. And now we're going to get to the Celtics. Celtics, what you going to offer Jaylen Brown? Because what I saw He don't need the max. Not somebody that only got a right hand should be getting the max. We put him in this here, and he didn't know what to do. Great, want to rebound. He shows up for the first quarter and never shows up anymore. I don't get it. So if you want to pay star money for that, go ahead and pay your tithes and offerings to that. Then let's talk about Mr. Tatum. Big money MVP, right? Top 5 MVP candidate. But realistically, last 2 series is who? Ain't been Tatum. But don't worry, I'm going to get to that as well. Now, let's go into the scripture. All right. We're in the book of Miami. We're in chapter 35, verse 8. Okay. It's the 35th season. We were the 8th seed. Okay. You're right. Bam is not as offensively gifted as we would like. Completely agree with that. But damn it, somebody should have been guarding Caleb Martin. Wait, I thought Marcus Smart was the defensive player of the year. Shit, couldn't tell. Where was he at? But you asked me to talk about the series itself. We went up 3-0. At that point, when we won the first game, which, as everyone remembers, we won all of our first games so far. So, yes, I'm betting on us to win game 1 on Thursday. Yes. So, after we won game 1, I didn't think we'd win game 2. But we won 3 straight. Timeout on you, Al Horford. So now, we're up 3-0. We coasted game 4. Game 5, we gave away. Game 6. Game 6 was a game where we did not even play our best and lost by a bad possession.
The Leprechaun.
The Leprechaun. We'll say the Leprechaun.
There you go, Leprechaun.
And Cat would say it's a game of tenths, right? Tenths of seconds, right? No matter what, I think we can all agree Jimmy and Bam did not have a great game. On the flip side, again, tied an offering to Tatum and Brown. Marcus Smart was the last shot of the game. That's what y'all putting the ball in? Bad. I like it. But, Lil White with the rebound, tip in. It is what it is. At that point, yes. At the end of game 6, I was deflated because I felt as if that was everything that we had. I didn't think we had enough to go back to Boston and win a third game. Ladies and gentlemen, a third game at TD Garden. We have won more games at TD Garden than the Boston Celtics, who were the 2nd seed. But, so I didn't see us winning game 7. I went to sleep, and I woke up the next day, and I said, damn, if everybody's going to be against my team, why would I be? I've been riding them since April 11th, 2023, and I said, yes, we're not going to win this game, but we'll win the next game. And I'll be damned if I'm going to sit against my team. So, yes, I put all us in for game 7, and damn, by halftime, this looked terrible, if I'm going to be honest with you. But, yes, Tatum hurt his ankle. Yep, so what? That happened. Brown should have stepped up, and he did, and turned the ball over. Marcus Smart stepped up and did, nothing. Al Horford, veteran presence, nothing.
Elite shooter.
Grant Williams playing for a $20 million contract. For what? They brought in Dookie Howser off the bench because they couldn't find no support. Malcolm Brogdon came in, whatever. When Duncan Robinson is telling you, that's a problem. And I thought they would make a run in the second half. I really did. I was like, third quarter is going to be something very different, something that we've never felt before. I even tweeted about that. And they brought the same bullshit. And we met their bullshit with bags of shit right back to them. This game was won by unsung Caleb Martin. Hell of a series. His contract, which is not up yet, well-deserved. I don't know if there's ever been someone that had a 10-day contract that got signed, that got a 3-year, $20 million deal like that, but that man needs to get paid some more money.
Jeremy Lin.
Oh, Linsanity. Let's not forget. So there's that. Caleb Martin, Gabe Vincent, who there's been rumors about him going other places. I mean, he's playing as if he's a starting point guard in the league, and he is. Duncan Robinson is having a resurgence, and we didn't believe in him. I didn't believe in him coming into this series, but a shooter is going to shoot, and he's going to continue to shoot. Kyle Lowry, for all intents and purposes, Look at Kyle Lowry's track history. He cannot play home games in the playoffs. But when it's away, that man finds a way. Top 10 Kyle Lowry, a resurgence when we needed him.
See, real quick. I went back to the top 10 point guard list and I listened to your explanation of Kyle Lowry, and it is right on the head. It's like he last year he didn't perform as well in the playoffs, and this year he's been up and down. But when he's been playing well, he's been playing very well. If you're getting 10, 12 points from Kyle Lowry, that is a problem for the other team. That's a problem for the other team.
And the other stat that we don't have, right? We don't keep stats of box outs. This man at 5'10", 5'11" is boxing out 6'7", 6'8" players and giving us the opportunity to get the rebound. He's giving timely fouls. Foul Robert Williams. What are you going to do? 1 for 2 from the free throw line? I'd rather that than a dunk. Smart, intelligent play by Kyle Lowry. And speaking of smart and intelligence, let's go ahead and talk about my man from Wheeling Jesuit. Came in the game and robbed an MVP twice. I guarantee you thought Caleb Martin had this series. Haysmith is going to come out next series. We just been getting him ready. And let me, one more, real quick, and I'll give it away. And this is just real quick for the Grizzlies.
Why are we talking about them?
I'm not.
Just real quick.
They've been home.
They have been, and it's an epiphany. Just walk with me.
Go ahead.
All we've always heard them say is what? They're too young. Last time I checked, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart, all not over the age of 30, have been in what? 6, 7 Eastern Conference Finals, and they keep playing. So I don't want to hear about age, and I want to hear with 3 different coaches, by the way. 3. I don't want to hear anything about that. It's time to look at the coaches. But you're right, too. We're not going to talk about any team that's not in Denver right now because we already packed our bags and we in Denver. And we still in game 1 on Thursday. Come talk to me. I'm not going to give my prediction, but damn it, I'm saying it right now. Heat in 6. I've said it all playoffs. They either been in 5, 6, or 7. So take the average. Heat in 6.
Mad for y'all ass. School out, but mad for your ass. Okay. Go ahead, Toot.
You done? That was needed, man. I enjoyed every word of it. Like even when I asked you last week, did you think, or last podcast, did you really think that the Heat were the best team? And honestly, like they've been looking like the best team outside of Denver, especially in the Eastern Conference. So just to hear your confidence, just to hear everything that you have to say, you know, I said before the podcast, damn it, I'm a Heat fan for the next month. Or have week, 2 weeks, whatever, man. Get this dude off the court. Shout out to y'all being a leprechaun. To be honest with y'all, just a quick story. I ain't even see Marcus. My Derek White hit the shot. I'm be flat out. I'm watching the game because as soon as Marcus Smart took that dumbass shot, I got up from my chair and I screamed, "Why the hell did Marcus Smart take that dumbass shot?" So I'm lost. You know, I'm in my feelings because literally I need the Celtics to win for, you know, parlay type ish. You know what I'm saying? Got perfect everything. Just need the Celtics to win. Marcus Smart take the dumbass shot. And I'm like, shit, well, money down the drain. Then I come back to my computer and the Celtics won. I'm like, whoa, what? With that energy and the fact that even before the game that he was like, hey, y'all, we already booked our flights to Denver. Yeah, let me go and put this little $5-10 on Miami to win. And that's exactly what y'all did. You know, we could call Bam Adebayo offensively what he is because he definitely the first half for sure. The first quarter, it was ass. He was Bam Adebayo for sure, but he still ended with the game with 10 rebounds. And I think that what's important is the fact that he had 7 assists, and I think that's going to be a key part in why the Heat beat, you know, the Nuggets. I can't wait to talk about the series, but Batman, we need you. Jimmy Jordan Butler, we need you. Bam, we need you to stop playing like Bum. Even if you don't score a point defensively, we need you in the Joker space. Because this, like, people talk about the basketball ratings and everything. For a basketball nerd like myself and for y'all, we're going to have a hell of a time watching this finals. because these are literally the best. I can't remember the last time literally the best teams were in the NBA Finals. Healthy. Hopefully Tyler Hero come back. If Tyler Hero come back, it's gonna make it even better. You know what I'm saying? But
he'll be back in the 305 game 3, baby.
Game 3? You calling it game 3? So I'm expecting game 1 for sure. I was talking to somebody earlier that was like, "Oh, the Nuggets gonna have 10, 11 days off." Yeah, and he ain't lost the home of game 1. So expect game 1 to be won by the Heat. After that, I think that's when all hell gonna break loose, and I can't wait for us to talk about it. But you got Heat in 6, I got Heat in 6. Savage, before you answer, just remember that you barely got your black card back. So just want to throw that out there.
Hey man. So you threw me off with that shit.
Yeah, that's hard to come out.
You got the red cup.
So about the Boston series, first of all, I know they're talking about firing Joe Mazzulla. You can't fire Joe Mazzulla. He was thrown to the situation. You know, he was, again, behind the bench, not on the bench with Ime Udoka. He was behind the bench. I mean, he was like 5th in pecking order with the coaches. At the same time, he brought him to an Eastern Conference Finals. That's one, which they've been there before, yes, but he's a first-year coach. He has a lot of talent, yes, but you still got to coach these dudes up, man. We just saw Bud losing the first round to Miami Heat. So there's that. 2, Jason Tatum's injury did have an impact, but like I said, you still had an all-NBA performer in Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown, as a former get the Jaylen Brown to the Grizzlies person, I'm off that shit immediately because, like, the man cannot dribble with his left hand, which is still it's helpful because he can still go for 50 points if he wants to. Just can't dribble. So if you ever learn how to dribble properly, then you might be worth that $295 you can get in the offseason, which he will get, in my opinion.
Are you Boston. Really off that bandwagon, though? Let's stay here for a minute. We already brought the Grizz up, and I already seen Captain talk about he off the Brown bandwagon. But are we really off that bandwagon just because?
You understand how much money that
I am for the price. The price.
Yeah,
I'm off that
price.
For the price.
You have to be.
If he getting, I know somebody on Twitter said he can get 4 years, 190 if he gets traded. I could entertain that. But even still, if I'm Jaylen Brown, give me my 290. I'm not going for $100 million less. Like, hell no. Give me my full $300 million. Like, if you're a player and not even in your prime yet, maximize what you can get right now. Because in 4 or 5 years, he'll be able to get another max deal, which I'm sure he'll probably get at some point. So if you're talking about just basketball, yes, I would take him. But for the money that's tied up with the new CBA, I'd rather get that money to Bane and spread it over to Jaren, however you want to do that. But again, not a Grizzlies podcast, but speaking holistically, if I'm paying Jaylen Brown and I'm Boston Celtics, I gotta think about it because, like, the team around him is not that good. You got Al Horford, who's old. You got Brogdon, who kind of was good, but he wasn't a difference maker. Marcus Smart, former DPOY, couldn't see him at all as a DPOY in this series. So you're going to tie up a lot of money in Tatum and Jaylen Brown, but you have nothing else around them. You don't really have developmental pieces to go with these two players. So it's kind of a weird situation to be in. But if anybody is going to go for Jaylen Brown, maybe Portland, maybe Houston. I saw the betting odds at Atlanta, which is Jaylen Brown's hometown. Wouldn't be mad at it if they traded Trae Young for Jaylen Brown and you keep him with Murray and do it like that. Could be interesting. But anyway, beside the point with Boston. Going over to Miami, man, I was concerned up until the first quarter. I was like, oh, no, it's over with. They got this. I thought Boston was going to come out swinging. They did not. Disappointed me as a viewer of the game. But with Miami, I mean, shit, you've been telling me this since the beginning of the playoffs. I'm like, who am I to be like, they're going to lose at some point, right? I'm still rolling with the Nuggets.
Black card Jones.
I'm still rolling with the Nuggets, man. I feel like it's time, man. I feel like Boston could have won that series if they were better coached and had better execution. I think that Denver has obviously better players than Boston has. I mean, you got the MVP, in my opinion, and Joker. Jamal Murray's playing his ass off. I'm not going to be disrespectful and say in 5 games. I'm going to say Nuggets in 7. But as I said on Up and Under podcast, would I be surprised if Miami wins? No, I would not be surprised. I won't be surprised if they win tomorrow. Or Thursday. I won't be surprised if they win Thursday because I feel like they've won every single game one. And they just come out with a different level of competitive fervor that other teams do not have. Boston had no dog like zero dog at all. And you look on the other side, you got Gabe Vincent, a dog. You got Max Strus, a dog. Kyle Lowry, old dog. You got Caleb Martin. First of all, pause real quick. J. Cole needs to be the new GM of the Charlotte Hornets because he is a better evaluator of talent than Michael Jordan is right now. He told Miami, hey, y'all might want to sign Caleb Martin. And they still get Caleb Martin brother over in Charlotte and not Caleb Martin himself. They got his twin Cody Martin over there who ain't playing as well as Caleb Martin is right now.
He told my boy Markel to stay solid too.
Now
he did.
Yeah, he did. First of all, Charlotte don't even deserve him. He come to Miami and be evaluator of talent with us. And second of all, Caleb Martin ain't the only person that came from the Hornets that we got a part of the team. By the way, Zeller, who ain't getting no time.
Zeller.
Top 10 pick by them. We use him when he needs to be used.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So yeah, shout out J. Cole for telling Miami Caron Butler like, hey, this dude y'all might want to sign him because again, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, every time that Caleb Martin plays, bet the over. It's literally giving me money, guaranteed money every other day. I promise you it is. The man scored 25, 20, 18, 20, 20 every single time. Now, it might be different for the Nuggets series, but I'm still riding that wave.
They ain't got no defenders.
But I'm still riding that wave until the wings fall off. I'm just doing it. But yeah, I'm a roll with the Nuggets in 7, man. I don't have any like basketball like knowledge to go with it. I just feel like that's what it's gonna be. So I'll say this: my basketball head is telling me Nuggets, but my heart is saying Miami because I feel like I'm looking dead at some dog. Like there's no analytics, there is no like stats. There's no like this player plays better on Monday. Like, nah, it's just like I know some ballers when I see it, and that's Miami. That's just what it don't matter what's going on, back to the wall. I said on Twitter, these folks are petty. They let Boston win 3 games in a row just so they can beat their ass in Boston by 20. That's a different level of petty that I aspire to be. As a person who is
did Boston even show up, bro? Did the Bruins show up? Did the Red Sox show up? I mean, damn, no one from Boston showed up.
Patriots,
but Paul Pierce, Ray Rondo,
MIT, nobody showed up. Nobody showed up, bro. Nobody showed up, bro. So I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in Boston, but I mean Miami and Denver. That to me, like 2 minutes, this is a perfect basketball series, man. Like I feel like basketball is better when you don't have a dog in the fight. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not a Miami Heat fan. I'm not a Nuggets fan. I just like good basketball, and I feel like we're gonna have good basketball either way because Miami is not gonna lay down to what's on paper a better team in Denver. So I can't wait to see it. So. Y'all get Nuggets in y'all got Miami in what 6? You got 6 too? I got them in 7. So we're gonna see how it goes. Unfortunately, she ain't gonna be here to next week to talk about it. He got other things to do.
Can I say this from a basketball standpoint though? Uh-huh. I will say this. We will need to because we live and die by our zone. Okay. Mm-hmm. We will need to adjust that zone because if Al Horford can slash and get a pass, just imagine what I agree that MVP should be Joker. What the Joker can do if he has a fresh lane like how we gave Horford or Robert Williams. Mm-hmm. That is going to have to be addressed. Whether we get backside help to come quicker or we step in from a 2-3 to a 2-1-2, so to speak, and protect the free throw line. We have to address that because I know we're going to play zone. Mm-hmm. That's who we are. But we can't. But if we allow the zone to be like it was and we don't cut off that middle point, it's over.
Yeah, and Denver got some zone busters, man. Like MPJ, Jokic, Jamal Murray, KCP. They're gonna spread you out, man. So it's gonna be a chess match for sure, definitely. Let me see what the comments saying. Shark said coulda, woulda, shoulda. Ain't seen Brown close the game either, for that matter. Yeah, true enough. He said, I'd rather stick with Bane, who I see actually improving his ball handler. Yeah, Jaylen Brown got to get in the lab, man. He's too skilled to not be able to dribble with his left hand. Like, you a grown-ass man, man. You need to dribble with your left hand. So I learned how to do my right hand.
It is force. Like, you're an athlete. You're a professional at this point. You should have a left hand. How did you make it this far and not have left hand? We literally strategized ourselves to make sure he goes left. And what happened? Rip City.
It was like every single time, like they knew they forced him left, and like it was immediately a tap, and it was like every time rip. He had 8 turnovers, ladies and gentlemen, 8 turnovers in a game 7. Right.
7 shots made.
Joe says Denver altitude could play a role. I think so too, Joe, because I feel like Miami, they're going to be to some extent a little bit tired on top of the higher elevation. But again, Miami's a different animal, man. Like they might just say, "If we're gonna have some oxygen tanks on the sideline and get back to work." Like I knew Miami was different. I mean, I knew it from the jump, obviously, but when they lost Game 6, Coach Spo was like, "I want to play in an hour. I want to play right now. We can get ready right now to play." That lets me know they're gonna be ready for the altitude in Denver. So, all right. So speaking of Boston, they got a lot on their hands this offseason with figuring out paying Jaylen Brown. Do they want to fire Joe Mazzulla? Maneuvering the pieces in general to make the team better. Trying to figure out like how can Boston improve itself, going into the 23-24 season. So I'm gonna ask y'all, do y'all think they should get rid of Jaylen Brown? Should they run it back? I've seen both arguments all day on Twitter today, but what do y'all think?
I think that they would be making a big mistake if they were to let Jaylen Brown go. And what I mean by that is they're one of the younger cores with him and Tatum, but they've been to an NBA Finals already. They've been to a conference finals, one game away this year to go to another NBA Finals with a new head coach. Build around them. People been trying to break them up for the longest. Ever since Jaylen Brown got there, what it feel like. But whatever's there is working, especially defensively. Did they let go of the ball yesterday? Yeah. Did Jason Tatum injury may not, played a part in them losing? But with these two, that's a lot of money. But at the same time, if you're able to get to where you are with old ass elite shooting as Al Horford starting, you'll be fine. If you're able to get there without a legit point guard, you'll be fine. Marcus Smart, defensive player of the year, as he should have been, but I don't think he can continue to be the starting point guard of this team. The starting point guard is Malcolm Brogdon, and he coming off the bench winning 6 Man of the Years. So I think you need to figure out what you're gonna do with them two. You need to go let go of Horford, and you need to figure out what you're gonna do with Grant Williams and Robert Williams. I think Robert Williams can continue to be at least a starting power forward on this team, but you got to get rid of Al Horford. He's old. He's not able to do what he's supposed to do in the post. He called himself an elite shooter, and 2 games out of the 7 that we just witnessed, he went 3-pointless. Like he didn't score a 3-point shot at all. You got to figure out, are you going to keep Mazzulla? I think they should keep Mazzulla. Regardless of what happened, you still was a game away from the NBA Finals. And I think this is the main point that people keep on missing out on, Savage. Like you're a game away from another NBA Finals. You could have won last year, but last year you would just went against the Golden State Warriors. Simple as that. You know how to beat the Bucks. Damn near everybody know how to beat the Bucks at this point. So if you keep going, you're gonna continue to be a top 2 Eastern Conference team. Why break that up unless you can bring somebody better in? That again, if you are to trade Jaylen Brown, you don't want to pay them to 300 million, 600 million, however much it is. Whoever you would bring in, you're gonna be paying $300 million for him. So why not stick to what's working? I think, like I said, I think Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown continue to stay on the team. And you just got to build around them, get these old heads out, bring some new energy in, and bring in a legit point guard. You got to start there.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at the salary that they have. And let's make sure that we're clear, and I know we're clear on this show, but I want to make sure everyone else is clear. It's not that Brown is gone this season. He's still under contract this upcoming season. But after this upcoming season, they're already in Cancun now, or they should be already. But, once he gets back from Cancun, they're going to run this season back. He's still under contract this season. I think the question actually becomes, do you trade him, right? Or do you sign him to this max extension and then trade? Like, that's the question, realistically on the board. And I hear you. I also think that Malcolm Brogdon, who's collecting $22 million of them things to come off the bench, is your starting point guard. You need to work around. Maybe there's Marcus Smart is coming off the bench. Maybe that's where his role needs to be. Or if you're keeping Brown, that means Brown, Tatum starters. Al Horford is going to be a starter. Malcolm Brogdon should be a starter, and then you can, if it's Marcus Smart or Robert Williams, whoever you want to be there. I don't believe there's Grant Williams is there in the soccer room moving forward. But honestly, their team is coming back realistically. And so do you trade Brown to the Trailblazers, get that third pick and Anthony Simons, and start with that? If you're trading Brown, you need to be trading him, one, out of the East to somewhere else, and two, to somewhere where you can get value, to Tuke's point, of $300 million type of value for him. Now, what is on the side of the Celtics, and we're going to be honest here, I'm going to be honest here, is going to next year, until some trades happen, East is still the East. Ain't no Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving looming around.
It's an 8 seed in the finals right now. Anybody can make.
Yeah. And I mean, y'all dusted the
bingo.
Y'all could have dusted them without Brown. So it's like, it's actually the 76ers will be a different type of team next season. Like, there's a lot of unknowns. So this could be the time to keep them. But if it does, and I would sign him to a premium deal. If I'm the Celtics, I sign him for the max that I can. Why? Because if it does not work and I have to get to a trade deadline and make changes, then I want the most that I can get for him. Period. I think they are going to run it back, but I don't know if Brown stays the entire season. Because if he doesn't, and they sign him to this deal, then they are literally going to be stuck with him and Tatum probably for the tenure of their basketball careers until each of them get to like 34, 35. But the next one up will be Tatum. So it's like you pay one, pay the other, pay one, pay the other. But Malcolm Brogdon can't be making $22 million coming off the bench as a point guard. He can't. The Marcus Smart thing was a trial and error, and it's not working. Marcus Smart cannot be your point guard. Jason Tatum is not built to be a point forward right now. He's better off the ball first. You need someone else to bring up the ball. We all know Jaylen Brown can't bring up the ball with his left hand, so you need somebody to do it. So Malcolm Brogdon, you traded for Malcolm Brogdon to come here. Give Malcolm Brogdon the keys to start this thing. And again, that comes down to Marcus Smart, Robert Williams. Which one is not going to start? Because you're going to start Al Horford until he retires from y'all for some reason. And then you move on. But you have to be comfortable making those decisions. Joe Mazzulla, again, to the credit that we said. Now, if he would have got swept, maybe I could have seen some conversations. But again, this team was only one game away from getting the finals. But I mean, you see why they brought it up though, because I mean, the Hawks, like y'all let the Hawks beat y'all at TD Game 5 without DeJounte Murray. Y'all let the 76ers come in and beat y'all without Joel Embiid. So I mean, there were some question marks. We're not gonna act like there was no question marks. However, I think Joe Mazzulla has earned enough to get at least, to me, 2 years. Because I don't think the roster is set up the way that whatever he wants. If he's saving timeouts for Cancun, I don't know. I praise my Lord on Sunday and every other day from there. So I don't know what's going to happen. But in all actuality, keep him. If it doesn't work, then try to trade. But from that point on, the East is still open. You got a chance.
My gut is telling me they're gonna pay him because, like I said, Jaylen Brown got to make his money. Like, it's $300 million. I'm not missing out on that just because I want to go somewhere else. That's number one. I do think, because Sheeta, you mentioned that he could be traded by the trade deadline. I think if that is what is projected to happen, I think they would fire Mazzulla before they trade Jaylen Brown, because like if you're talking about trading Jaylen Brown, that means that the season was a failure. At that point in the season at the trade deadline. And I think they probably would still keep Jaylen Brown beyond that trade deadline. And I don't know who will be brought up as a coach. I don't know if it'll be somebody else, on the staff, or if it's like a Quinn Snyder where somebody comes in from the outside. I'm not sure. But I just, they're going to stick with it, but I don't know how they're going to effectively change the roster in a way that's different from what they had this year. If you run it back with Marcus Smart and Brogdon, it's going to be a struggle. Al Horford is beyond his years, man. Like, it's time to let it go. Robert Williams is okay, but I know he was sick in Game 7, if I remember correctly. He got sick.
Please. all I hear is excuse, not from you.
Yeah, I guess.
But Robert Williams had
throwing up on the sideline.
I don't care what he had. Was he on the court? Did he play?
That's how I feel. You on the court, man. If you're on the court, you playing. Like,
yes.
if the ball hits your hands, you got to catch it, dog. Like, all these excuses, man. Like, nah. But yeah, they said he was sick and all that type of stuff. So you, in theory, would come back next year. But what I feel like they need a point guard that can run the show, a la Devin Booker before CP3 got there. Devin Booker was your scorer. He was your playmaker. He was your defender. We saw how he had to literally carry the Suns in the bubble to a 10-game win streak, and they still make the playoffs. Jason Tatum is the exact same way. He can score. He can play make. He's actually developed as a defender as well this year. But you cannot have him exhausting himself to the point where he ends up getting hurt, and then now everything is to shit now. You know what I'm saying? At some point, they needed somebody that can say, okay, we just got scored on. It's a 5-0 run, 7-0 run, 9-0 run. Somebody slow the game down. Let's run our offense. Let's find an easy bucket, and let's chip away at the lead. Instead, Boston, they continuously come down the court. They hit a three, try to come on the other side of the court, and try to match it on the other end, brick. You know what I'm saying? Or conversely, Miami misses a shot. They come down the court. We got to get a three, brick. Every single time. I'm like, y'all, just slow the game down, run your offense, get the best shot. That's why Golden State thrives so much, because if they weren't getting threes, they getting easy backdoor cuts. I can't tell you how many times I saw Sean Livingston wide open under the goal, reverse layup every time because they move the ball around the perimeter and into the paint. So Boston, I think, needs a point guard, like a true point guard. They have one in Brogdon that can do it, but for some reason he's on the bench. I don't understand that. You signed to that month to be on the bench. Like, once you get into the postseason, your best players are going to play. We see that with Denver. Denver plays 7 players, and that's it. They don't play nobody else. They play 7 players, and that's all they play. So Boston, I think they need a point guard for 1. They need some size down low for 2. Al Horford, it's time to let it go. Robert Williams is okay, but I don't think he's worth an additional contract beyond what they would pay for him anyway. So they'll keep Boston. Not Boston. They'll keep Jaylen Brown. They'll keep Jason Tatum. But you have to configure what's around them. That stuff matters. We see it with Miami. You got Jimmy, you got Bam, then you got those around them that can help accelerate going to the finals. Hey, Leia. She waving now. But yeah, that's how I feel. Anything else about Boston, y'all?
No, I think the thing to be considerate about is, again, Brown is still in the contract.
Yeah,
so,
1 more year. Yep.
Like, we're talking about trading, and this is all of us, media and everyone. Let him have a prove-it year. Let him prove this year.
Let him improve in the offseason.
Exactly. like, let's give him the space. Like I said, the East is still open. It's still open sesame. Since LeBron ain't in the East, it's open sesame. It's just Miami right now, baby. That's it.
Of course. All right, let's hear a word from BetStamp. This episode of 3 to Hardaway is brought to you by the BetStamp app. BetStamp is helping thousands of people win at sports betting for free. The same way travelers use Google Flights or Expedia to find the best prices, sports bettors can now use BetStamp to do the same. When you place a bet, the odds given by a sportsbook will determine how much you can possibly win. Even when betting on the same outcome, different sportsbooks will offer varying payouts, and these differences can be huge. Thankfully, BetStamp allows you to easily line shop for the most profitable odds across all sportsbooks. You can click on any matchup and instantly see all the different odds for games lines, player props, and even future bets. Line shopping is the simplest way to find an edge in sports betting and maximize your chances of winning long term. On average, BetStamp users win an extra $1,000 yearly just by line shopping. You can find the BetStamp app on the Apple Store, Google Play Store, or through your browser at www.betstamp.app. To access all these benefits, sign up using promo code LBR. That's LBR, and start your journey to sports betting today. If you forget to use the code upon sign up, you can always enter our code in your BetStamp account settings afterwards. BetStamp. Bet like a pro. All right, gentlemen, other NBA news that popped up. We do have a couple of coaching hires that happened. The first one is Adrian Griffin, former NBA player. He got hired by the Milwaukee Bucks, and he apparently was who Giannis wanted to be the coach. So from my perspective, it's interesting that they brought in a coach with not as much actual head coaching experience, but he does have experience in the NBA. So he was a player in the NBA. He played with Boston, Dallas, Houston, Chicago, Dallas again, Chicago again, and then he ended his career with the Sonics back in 2008. So before they moved to Oklahoma City, but he was on the staff in Milwaukee in 2008. He was in Chicago, Orlando, OKC, Toronto for, I believe, the championship year. Yeah, championship year. And then he is now in Milwaukee as the head coach. So quick thoughts on Adrian Griffin as coach of the Bucks.
There's an F for me.
You said an F?
He said F. Yeah. That's how I feel too. I'm like, okay, I guess.
Do you want to win another championship? Are we just gonna keep? I mean, we said on the pod like they were gonna pander to Giannis because they want to keep him.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, here we got another pander situation that's probably, in my opinion, not going to equate to another championship. So I mean,
it's a brother getting a job. So I mean, that's
cool. Salute to him. I just hope he got the job for more than a year.
Yeah, like if I'm honest, oh yeah, this is the coach I wanted. Yeah, right. Okay, whatever. I'm saving face, whatever it may be. But I guess congratulations, brother, for getting it. And are we just gonna be ready to rebuild around Giannis after another year? She playing. Is he gonna be ready to take on this whole thing? Stop.
She's sick of Giannis. That's what it is. She's sick of this Giannis.
Wow. Here you go.
That's what it is. I
And she gonna
That's not funny. That's not funny. All right. The next hire, we do have Nick Nurse, who was hired by Philadelphia to be their head coach. I'm actually okay with that. I feel like Nick Nurse does have championship experience, obviously, with Toronto. Granted, he had a team that was ready-made with Kawhi coming over there with, at the time, top 10 Lowry and everyone around them. But Nick Nurse is a good coach. He coaches hard. He coaches to the point where you're going to play in the game for 30, 40 minutes if need be to win those games. My only issue is, can Joel Embiid last over the course of a season playing that many minutes? He gets hurt every postseason. It's a dead horse at this point on this podcast. But I like it in terms of like basketball for Philadelphia. What do y'all think?
Yeah, I like it for Philly, but to your point, Joel Embiid his knee's gonna give out. It's gonna be too much on him. I think Nick Nurse is gonna be great with getting those other players together. I'm not talking about the second highest paid player on the 76ers, Tobias Harris. I'm talking about Maxey and some other players, but Lord have mercy. I hope Joel gets some cardio in over the summer because he's going to need it with the Nick Nurse schemes that he's got developed.
I got a feeling that Nick Nurse is going to juice his championship the same way Doc Rivers juiced his. As y'all have told me about this. Like Savage and the fellas, they tell me he gonna milk it for another job, and Doc Rivers gonna continue to coach and coach and coach. I think the same thing that gonna happen for Nick Nurse. Am I saying he's a good coach? I mean, he's all right. You know what I'm saying? He's a championship winning coach, but let's not consider the circumstances in which he got there. So I think that he wants to prove that he's a championship winning coach. It's just gonna be a matter of will the Sixers allow him to, prove to us. Are they going to bring in the personnel? Are they going to bring in the players? What's going to happen with James Harden? Del Morey still calling shots. Y'all know how I feel about him. So good job. You know what I'm saying? Everybody on social media making the references. Oh, they went from a doc to a nurse. Ha, ha, ha. I guess. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Good job, Nick Nurse. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully they can figure some stuff out. But will they? I'm willing to bet not.
The good thing is though they got rid of Doc and they're getting rid of Harden, so you're getting rid of 2 out of the 3 problems. Only one's left is Daryl Morey. That's
but the biggest one. I said,
but he gonna bring talent in though. That's what I'm saying. He gonna bring some talent in. Now you just got a coach.
I give him that.
He gonna bring in some talent. He gonna bring in some.
He going to get rid of Tobias Harris.
Somebody take him. Y'all might take him. Miami, y'all might take him.
If you don't shut the hell up, we are not making the same decision that Philadelphia made. No, we are behind Jimmy Butler, not behind Tobias Harris. No, sir.
Tobias Harris over me.
Would y'all rather have Duncan Robinson or Tobias Harris?
Stop it. The money don't even make sense. I'd rather have Duncan Robinson. Are you kidding
They
me?
do.
Like basketball wise,
Yeah.
I'll take Tobias over Duncan Robinson. I mean, Duncan Robinson just now found out he can play basketball again.
Again, right?
It's been about 4 years since he forgot how to play basketball.
But for $40 million, I don't need 12 and 4 starting for me. No,
I feel like with Tobias though, like Tobias, he's just in a situation where he's not allowed to be him. Like you got Joel who gonna haul the ball, you got James Harden who gonna haul the ball, Maxey gonna haul the ball. So you're fourth in the pecking order in a game where the ball is better when it's moved, you know. So he don't really get a chance to be himself. That's what I think. I don't think he's terrible. I think it's just a matter of like he was in a bad predicament.
It's a Michael Porter Jr. syndrome.
Yeah, that's actually a great comparison. Actually, it's a great comparison.
I keep that, but I don't want them. No, not for $40 million. I'll take him for $10 million. We can talk there, 10, 15.
It's a new CBA, a new market, man. $40 million is gonna be cheap in about 2 years.
What?
It's gonna be cheap in about 2 years, man.
Now I know you ain't smoked weed since you were born, but God dog, you need to put it down now. You need to put it down now, right now, right now. I don't know what you
stay out the weed. You don't even smoke.
Oh shit! All right. Last of the NBA news is big for you too. Bob Myers, he stepped down as the GM of the Golden State Warriors. So that made a lot of waves today because people are wondering what does this mean for the Warriors as currently constructed. Who's going to come in to be the GM? I saw rumblings about Steve Kerr might leave and try to get over to San Antonio at some point once Pop, is done where he's at.
God damn it.
Yeah, man. And we know that Steve Kerr, he comes from that Spurs organization. Like
I can see that.
He cut his teeth in San Antonio and then went to Phoenix.
Too, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
So first things first, I do want to salute to Bob Myers because he's easily been one of the best general managers in the NBA. Will he get another job? Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
He'd be able to damn near whatever team he called, they better be like, all right, bet. Whoever GM manager outside of the Heat, of course, bye. Deuces. You know what I'm saying? I was good with this until I read who will possibly be replacing.
Who?
So it's funny you brought up Sean Livingston. It's not Sean Livingston, by the way, but it's funny you brought him up because he is being considered. He works in the front office with the Warriors right now, and I'd rather have him than the guy they may have replacing him. And that player was Mike Dunleavy Jr.
Oh, Mike Dunleavy. Ooh.
Mike Dunleavy, yeah. And he's been in Bob Myers' shadow.
Was drafted by the Warriors.
And I was actually gonna get to that point, Savage, because that's when the Warriors were at their absolute worst. They try to get Yao Ming. So if everybody's saying I ain't a Warriors fan, I do know a little history. They tried to get Yao Ming, they didn't get him, but they ended up getting a number 3 pick. Mike Dunleavy Jr. was that pick, and they went through hell for at least 5-6 seasons. But again, that's when the Warriors were at their worst. History repeats. You got look. Bob Myers was able to get in Kevin Durant. Thank goodness, because that's what put him above everybody else. But for me, what I've seen with the Warriors is: are we going to continue to keep what got us to the championship going, or are we going to start new? Because we suck at developing players, if you want me to be quite frank with you.
Yeah.
Jordan Poole was the same Jordan Poole that he's been his entire career. He just hit more shots, I guess, a year or two ago. You know what I'm saying? Gary Payton II. We let him go just to bring him back. We're missing James Wiseman in the playoffs. Kaminga can't even get on the court, and him and Wiggins kind of bumping heads because they slick the same player. Only Wiggins can shoot a little better. What are we gonna do? And then you got Mike Dunleavy Jr. calling the shots now, who I guess they've been quote unquote prepping him without knowing. So 9 times out of 10, I'm a band man. I'm banning Mike Dunleavy Jr. be the general manager. If not,
you know what's funny too? You know what's funny? As you were talking, I went to go see what was Mike Dunleavy's like career. What was it like in Golden State? And his last year in Golden State before they got rid of him was the year of the We Believe Warriors. So he was
exactly what happened.
They let him go after the We Believe Warrior, and he wasn't even playing. I don't remember him playing during the We Believe Warrior. I remember Stephen Jackson, Matt Barnes, Baron Davis,
Monte Ellis,
Bendrins. Like I don't remember nothing about Mike Dunleavy. I remember some niggas. That's what I remember. I don't remember nobody white.
Warrior, and correct me if I'm wrong. I'm a whole fat boy fadeaway and I'm listening, but correct me if I'm wrong. They used to boo Mike Dunleavy Jr. And now he's about to be calling the shots.
That's interesting. That's very interesting.
Yeah, that's why I said I had to dig. I did a little bit digging before we got on the episode, and I had to bring that to awareness. So again, that's who the Warriors are looking at promoting. Will it happen? I hope not, but at the same time, I guess we'll see because the news literally just broke.
Interesting. If I'm the Warriors, I'm kind of concerned knowing that the Grizzlies got my draft pick. This year was a very ugly year for them in terms of like inconsistency with the all season as far as like Draymond punching somebody in the face, not winning games on the road, getting beat by the Lakers in the playoffs. Like that just blows my mind that a gold standard franchise, which I've called the Warriors for the past 3-4 years, to get beat by a team that was put together at the trade deadline, literally put together at the trade deadline, had a rookie head coach, and you have this bona fide like Hall of Famers, 3 of them, bona fide Hall of Fame coach, like I said, a gold standard franchise, and you lose to the Lakers. What does next year look like, knowing that you don't have the GM that was the architect of this entire operation? You know, so whoever comes in, he or she is going to want to make this team in their image. And so, like, I don't like Draymond, get him out of there. I want to keep Steph. I might move Clay. I actually like Jordan Poole. Kaminga, we might develop him. So it might be to be honest, and excuse my language, a clusterfuck of like just talent. How they gonna do it? And then Steve Kerr, if I'm him, me and Bob Myers had a relationship. I know the kind of players that I want. That relationship was kind of severed based on who they brought in with Wiseman and Kaminga and Poole, all these young players that's messed up the flow of a veteran-laden team. And so now, if I'm Steve Kerr, I'm like, man, I can get any job I want. I might take a year off and do TV or do some consulting and then pick my job, whatever that job may be, in a better situation. So I'm actually very concerned for the Warriors. And on this podcast, we were getting on them early on. We said something is going on with this team. And true enough, they made the playoffs, but it ended terribly. And that is a reflection of what we all three saw in the midst of Draymond Green punching Jordan Poole. Like, we knew something was going on then. And now it's going up into the offices now, where it's like Bob Myers stepping down. Why would I step down from a good situation? I'm only stepping down if I know something bad's coming. That's kind of how I see it.
Yeah, because you want to keep your ratings high, right? Mm-hmm. While the value's high, I'm gonna get by.
Yep, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna get out of there right now.
Makes sense.
Man, I really don't have much to say about it, man. I just think this is one of the bigger dominoes that needs to fall. And when you're talking about changing of the guard or changing of the dynasty, this is just part of it. And they're really starting from the top down. And Bob's gonna get a job. Steve Kerr's gonna find another job if this doesn't work out. I really like that talk about going to San Antonio once Pop is done, especially if Becky doesn't want to come back. And sorry, too many ums. At the end of the day, kudos to Bob for what he's done. And he didn't just make the Warriors though, right? He made the NBA.
Yeah. Because
of what he did, what the Warriors were able to do, people replicated that all around the league.
And still couldn't compete.
So, like, I mean, wherever he goes, you write the check, you open up the checkbook. I mean, Toronto, whoever may be who needs a new GM. I think the GM from Toronto is gone. Somebody left. But Bob needs to be on the phone immediately. Jalen, yes, the time has come. Do you want me to repeat? Heat will win the game on Thursday. Heat and 6, Jalen Wallace. I hope you're enjoying your anniversary whenever you got married, what have you. Blessings, peace on earth. See you on Thursday.
Hey, Jalen, I'm going to hit you up if you're still here. I'm going to hit you up so you can get on the pod next week because we got to have some Denver representation on the podcast next week.
We don't have to.
We don't have to, but I just want to hear what he has.
We would enjoy it.
No, definitely.
He won't be here. You get a little. That's
little bro. Anyway, what's up, man? Congratulations. This y'all time, man. This y'all time.
For sure. All right. I actually forgot to about the trivia question again.
Yeah, we ain't got it. Yeah,
we gotta do it. Okay, but I do want
to. We actually can if y'all want because it kind of pertains to the subject now.
Okay, go ahead. And then we
want to know if y'all know what the highest NBA Finals ratings were. What year?
What year?
Mm-hmm.
The bubble year?
Nah, it wasn't bubble. That was lowest.
Yeah, that's one of the lowest.
Highest. So it has to be Jordan, right? It has to be Jordan. Anything with Jordan.
Yep.
Okay.
Good one.
Jordan. It has to be Lakers and Bulls.
What year was that?
90, 91.
Mm-mm. I would say when Jordan came back. So you're talking about maybe no, that would be Jordan versus what was that? The Sonics? 96, 97. It couldn't have been against
that was Jazz. That was Jazz.
The Jazz, 1998.
The last one.
The last one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That makes sense. With the push off.
Yep. Actually, the Last Dance was that. Actually, yeah. Still number one ratings ever. So when people say LeBron versus Jordan, more people watch Jordan.
I don't think ratings matter though, man. We out here doing some pirating, quote unquote, according to Mark Cuban.
Brother Marcus.
No, that's facts.
Before we get out of here though, let's give Mr. Carmelo Anthony his flowers on a great career. He did retire sometime last week. What was it, 19 years in the league? 19, 20 years in the league. I mean, he came in with LeBron, so they were kind of hand in hand. LeBron is the last man standing from his draft class, which is crazy to think about because I remember Carmelo being in college at Syracuse. I mean, even before that, I remember Carmelo at Oak Hill playing against LeBron's high school team. And it's just kind of crazy how fast time flies, man. 2 decades worth of just dominance, post moves, mid-range scoring, jump shots. I bought me a Carmelo Anthony jersey when I think I was in 6th grade. I wanted the jersey. I had the shoes, the 1.5 shoes. I was matching, dog, with the NBA patch jean shorts. Just to take it back a couple years.
Hey, you were somebody if you had NBA patch shorts, bro. I'm not. I don't care if you got them for real or you got them from Ahmed and them, bro. If you had the patch shorts, the real ones, not the ones that just said filler. Right?
Oh, the real one. With the actual logos on, not the bootleg logo.
No, not the bootleg.
The actual logo.
Yes, not talking about the guns, the real bullets, right? I want the real ones, okay?
Well, yeah, man, Carmelo Anthony, man. My favorite memory of Carmelo is, I mean, of course, Denver in general, but like when he played against Chicago in the Garden and he turned all the way up on Chicago on a scoring rampage, sending it into overtime and ultimately winning that game. I just remember Carmelo just having a pretty jump shot, elite on the post with his post moves. Should have won Rookie of the Year. I said that even during his rookie year. His team made the playoffs. Like LeBron did not make the playoffs. Like, what are we doing? He was a better player that first year, obviously, and then of course LeBron got better. But like rookie year, Melo was a Rookie of the Year. What are y'all's memories of Carmelo Anthony as a player?
Man, my memory started in college, bro. In all honesty, like that 2002 was around the time I really started like falling in love with the game of basketball. Like around the time, like Allen Iverson was my favorite player. So just watching him in college and just being like, dang, this freshman giving buckets and they just won the championship. Like I damn near wanted to go to Syracuse at that point. You know, I applied and everything.
Man,
like that's what kind of started my Melo fandom. And then for him to come to the NBA, you know, take the sorry ass Denver Nuggets to the playoffs. His first year, like they increased by like 20 wins. Get this man Rookie of the Year. But man, just even with that, people got on him about, choosing money over, going to another team. I think that kind of hindered, him winning a championship. But at the same time, he went to school at Syracuse University. He got a big ass contract to play in Madison Square Garden. If you ask me, that's a dream come true. You know what I'm saying? So of course he didn't win, but the Madison Square Garden, the New York Knicks need to figure out when to retire his jersey, and they need to do it real fast. He's a New York legend. He's a basketball legend, in my opinion, and we can talk about them. He's the most disrespected NBA All-Star superstar we've ever seen, and Melo deserved way more than what he should have been. I think Melo should still be in the league. I think,
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying? And if it wasn't for his son Kyan being the hoop star he is in the IBL, like I think we'll see another, fight for Melo, but he's being the great father he is. The tribute video that he have and is leaving his legacy in Kyan's hands was, I was teared up. You know what I'm saying? So everybody disrespecting Carmelo Anthony, that's what a lot of the quote unquote analysts have been doing the last probably 5-6 years of his career, when people like us have given Melo his flowers, and I'm happy to be able to do so at this time. So Carmelo Anthony, basketball legend, Mr. Captain America.
Oh yes, I forget about that, man. Olympic Melo. Oh my
Olympic
God,
Melo is my favorite. Like Captain America is his name. Like stop the cap, bro. So like I said, Pierre Hupem, one of the greatest scorers we've ever seen. Salute to you, Mr. Melo. Top 10 in scoring of all time.
Bro, who was that they played that one that year in the I don't know, it was FIBA or the Olympic? Bro had like 16 threes.
I forgot, but I know exactly what game you're talking about because he wasn't missing.
I had to look it up. I'm gonna look it up, but you also mentioned his son. Like looking at his son play, it's the exact same form, the exact same footwork. It is eerie, bro. I hope he goes to Syracuse just to get that remix going. It is eerie watching them play. But go ahead, Sheik.
Carmelo. Yes, starting from
easily
Syracuse.
I'm sorry, easily.
Oh yeah, I agree. Starting with Syracuse, watching him, Oak Hill, braids and everything. And so his stint, I agree, should have been Rookie of the Year. This comes from me. I'm a LeBron fan. Okay. I completely agree that Carmelo Anthony deserved that. He also deserved to still be playing in the league right now. He proved that even when the bubble happened with Portland. Still can get over for the corner three, still gonna get the rebound and tell you to get out the way. And was even doing that with the Lakers, right? Even after that, when they got, all the 40 and up crowd. Now, the problem I have is that the Knicks do need to retire his jersey. And the reason why the Knicks didn't go further is not Carmelo's fault. That's Amari's fault. Amari got hurt, and I think he punched the glass.
Yep.
Right? You talking about an all NBA talent at that time, punching the glass of his shooting hand, and then what is he supposed to do? Like Carmelo really had to carry the team as far as he could, and he couldn't do it at that point. And so, salute to him. Of course, we would have loved to see him win one in Denver with Allen Iverson and get in that ring as well, but it didn't happen. He became a journeyman, so to speak. He tried it in Houston, Oklahoma City. I think his best end was really with Portland. And I really love that part because he killed the Grizzlies, but he killed a lot of other teams from that corner three. He went from literally just being a postmaster, so to speak, to a corner specialist. He really evolved his game, but still kept his game the same at the same time. And he was never really one to compete for the rebound, but as the years dwindled down for him, he became more aggressive with getting the rebound. That really wasn't him. Yeah, that wasn't him. But it became him. And so to me, I really don't understand. It has to be something with the owners and how they feel about Carmelo Anthony and how they approach the situation with Carmelo Anthony for the reason why he's not in the league right now. You cannot tell me at this day and age, his form, the way he shoots, the way the NBA is structured, that there's nowhere on 30 teams for him not to be in an 8-man rotation. You cannot tell me that. Same way you can't tell me that Cam Newton can be at least a backup quarterback for somewhere. There's
one legend at a time, please. One legend at a time, especially for me.
But I will give Carmelo his flowers. He is rightfully in the Hall of Fame. The number 7 needs to get retired for New York Knicks. Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to retire the 15 for Carmelo in Denver.
They should, man. They
I
should.
said they should. I'm saying I don't think they will
Man.
because it's Denver.
He better be at game 1. They gotta give him a seat courtside, man.
He's already chosen his side though. He's already went to the New York Knicks games. Man. He's already went to the Lakers game.
They gotta invite him to the game. Get him a seat. He should be there for this, man. He gotta be there for it.
I hope so. I hope for y'all's sake he is. Because if you really thought that much of Carmelo Anthony, you would have never gave, even if he's a backup, you would have never gave Joker the 15 jersey.
I agree with that.
Really thought
crazy.
That highly of him, then that 15 jersey would have never been donned on anyone's back, even in.
You know what's crazy? Shady, like they gave it to like Joker when he was a second round pick. Like not before he became who he is. They gave it to him as that is crazy. That's crazy.
And that's why I'm saying, like, to me, I feel like it's disrespect from Denver, and I don't think Denver will retire the jersey for Carmelo. Man. If they retire the jersey for Joker, it should be like a joint thing, like, yeah, we're retiring for Joker and Carmelo, but Carmelo by himself will not his jersey retired with Denver.
Bro, that 15 icy white jersey with the powder blue, that's iconic, bro. They got to do it, on the map, bro. Man, they got to do it. They got to do it. Kenyon Martin, man, like
they had a little short dude. Was that Mookie Blaylock's son? Who was that?
Not Blaylock. They had Andre Miller for a second.
Earl Boykins.
Earl the Pearl. That's who it was.
Call it, man, Mookie Blaylock. I just put 2 and 2 together. You crazy, dude. You crazy. So I actually found the stats for that game where Melo went ham in the Olympics. It was against Nigeria. He had 37 points on 10 of 12 shooting from 3 in 14 minutes. 37 points in 14 minutes, bro. You know how hard shit, do math on it. I don't even know the math on it.
37 points in 14 minutes.
In 14
My man
minutes.
was getting less than 3 points a minute. Just a little bit under 3 points a minute.
Like, dude. That man,
damn near 3 a minute.
A 3 a minute, bro. And like literally, like I gotta find that clip and put it together on TikTok or something. But that man, I just remember in 2012. Matter of fact, I had just crossed, and I remember we was up at my line brother house. I'm like, this man's still shooting. Like anybody gonna guard him or nothing? But it's Nigeria. Ain't nobody that's in the league right now. But yeah, Tu, go ahead. You say you want to mention about the disrespect?
Yeah, just even with that, like with the disrespect, I wanted to talk to y'all and actually see, like, is Melo the most disrespectful NBA superstar? That's the key word as well. Because we just talked about the number 15. I do hope that they retire the number 15 as both Jokic and Melo, because Melo literally put them on a map. Like before Melo got there, nobody was talking about the Denver Nuggets. Their best player at the time was maybe Dikembe Mutombo.
Yeah.
So that's even there. And once he leave, you give him number 15. That's cap. He should have won Rookie of the Year, but you know, y'all got y'all king that came in and the NBA had to crown him. So that's disrespect. When he got to the Rockets let him go 10 games into the season. Not even 10 games into the season. I'm sorry. And that's how the analysts like to work. So you really didn't give him a chance to see if this will work with James Harden and Chris Paul. Y'all just said bye. And when he got to OKC, what happened? He started balling. And then out of all the teams, out of all the analysts and people that talk about the game of basketball, talking about how certain teams, the Memphis Grizzlies, need veterans, you got one and he's nowhere to be found. That's disrespect for me. So I just want to ask y'all, is there can y'all think of more of a disrespectful NBA superstar?
Off the top of my head, no, because of the magnification, I don't even know if that's a word, of how great Carmelo's game is. Offensively, somebody just said top 5 in his bag offensively ever. Because you can give him the ball postmaster anywhere in the post. Oh, that's Carmelo. 2 points. Move down the court. Get out the rim. Get out the net. And so I don't know to that status. Okay. I don't know to that status if there's another player. And I think we said Westbrook, but Westbrook still is in the league.
Yeah, I don't think it's Westbrook either.
Yeah, because Westbrook still has a chance. Like I would like to be a fly on the wall and hear the conversations that the execs or whoever GMs are having the conversation. If they're talking about Melo, what is that conversation they're having about him? because I can guarantee the same way LeBron is saying he's still better than 90 to 95% of the league. Carmelo's game is good enough to be, I'm not going to say starting somewhere. I'm going to say at least in the 8-man rotation for at least 27 teams. And I don't even know who those other 3 teams are that I'm not including, honestly. I'm just throwing out some numbers. But to say that you cannot have Carmelo Anthony, year whatever, spot up for the 3, get the rebound, play his position, and the way the defense is played now, you can let him slack on defense, play his zone defense.
Lack of defense.
Right. He'll be fine. Put him in the corner. He's still a threat in the corner or anywhere else he is on the floor. Joe Johnson still made a career in the Utah Jazz at 41, 42. They brought him back. So I don't understand. I would like to hear the conversations that execs have about Carmelo and why they were afraid to bring him back. I don't want to stand on most disrespected, but I think it's definitely up there because I have to really think about the status in which we should have Carmelo Anthony at this point. Because he's first ballot, he should get his jersey retired, at least with the Knicks. And I'm going to leave it at that. I mean, Jesus, I don't know who else right now.
Melo is I'm looking up the Denver's retired numbers, and all of them obviously make sense. I mean, Alex English, which is arguably the best Denver Nugget of all time, Fat Lever, David Thompson, Byron Beck, Dan Issel, and Dikembe Mutombo. And then like the all-time franchise scorers, Alex English, Dan Issel, Carmelo Anthony, Nikola Jokic, which is crazy because Jokic about to pass Melo in about 2 years. David Thompson, Ralph Simpson, Byron Beck, Fat Lever, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, and then Jamal Murray is there. Like he's top 3 right now in all-time scoring for your franchise, man. Like you have to acknowledge him one way or another post-career. And I say go ahead and do the 15 you do him first, obviously, put him in the Raptors, then Jokic whenever he retires. They have to. If they do it, that's a step in the face, in my opinion. I wouldn't even go to a game if they just didn't retire my number. I'd be done with Denver and like, you know what, F y'all. Just call it a day.
I guarantee you every year that he was with the Nuggets, he was a top 10 selling jersey.
Absolutely. That
I guarantee
in
you.
The hood,
top 5.
In the hood, bruh.
Come on,
that
man.
Jersey
well, they were real or fake. You saw them. Real or fake? Replica.
Real or fake?
That jersey, I was mad I couldn't get the powder blue one. I could only find the white one. I want the powder blue one.
Yeah, at least you got the Melo shoes, bro. Those are the shoes I always regret not being able to get.
1.5.
1.5s, man.
Man, I can't
wait.
Little
baby
I
blue
see them, I'm buying them.
Are they for sale anywhere right now?
If anybody know where they're selling these shoes, I promise I will send you something as well. But I need them shoes. I don't
even remember trying to hoop in them joints. I think I never hooped in them.
I just wanted them. That was just so cool. Everybody had them but me.
Let me see if I look at the price.
Let's say us, because I didn't have a pair either. Us.
Okay. You want like I want them though.
You can buy some used ones on YouTube. You can buy some used ones on eBay.
I mean, they all damn gonna be used at this. Damn, savage.
What's the price tag? What are they talking about?
What they talking about though?
You can get some used ones like that. Damn, somebody be hooping in these shits. This is like these like 178. You got 100 for the black and powder blue, but these are used, man. You don't rock with them. Yeah,
you gotta think like them shoes was 15, 20 years old, so ain't no telling what kind of
480 for new. 480 for new. And they probably ain't never been worn.
480. Shit, I pay that.
480 for the black and powder blue.
Yeah, you couldn't touch.
Let me get my bag up from these parlays one day. I'm getting them.
Bet over for Caleb Martin, you'll be good.
Hey, come on, I got you. Caleb Martin and the Miami Heat Dubs. I got you.
There you go. All right, man. We can get up out of here. Sheedy won't be here with us next week. So he had Heat in 6, 2 had Heat in 6. I got Nuggets in 7.
And your black card taken away again.
My black card is not taken away. It's not taken away because Jokic is just better than any black card can actually verify for. That's just how he's an MVP. Sorry.
That's racist.
How is that racist? You know what? I'm not getting to the
conversation. You just feel racist.
You just wanted to say it.
He's the one to say it. All right, we'll be back next week. We'll have some special guests with us in place of Mr. Sheedy, but Sheedy, safe travels for you.
Safe travels, brother.
I hope the Heat treats you well in terms of like winning game 1, game 2. How many games you gonna miss? Matter of fact, when you get back, it'll be game 5, I believe.
The wild thing is, I'm flying to Miami. So if you think I'm not enjoying some of this while
This
I
man
go,
be on South Beach.
even though they just was shooting on South Beach, by the way.
You be all right, bro. You live in Memphis. You be all right. Same
That's
thing.
true.
Same
Orange
thing.
Mountain taught me.
Well, not same thing because you might have some mafia down there. I don't know. It might be a little bit different.
Orange Mountain taught me well.
All right, y'all. Stay safe. Be blessed. Peace.